Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Dr. Matt from Pinnacle Chiropractic, your local pediatric, prenatal, and family chiropractic office here in the Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida area. Today, we're going to talk all about sensory meltdowns and overcoming the tantrums, meltdowns, and emotional outbursts. So are you a parent out there that's feeling super overwhelmed by your child's constant tantrums, meltdowns, and emotional outbursts? Do you find yourself walking on eggshells, never knowing what might trigger the next explosion? Well, parents, you're definitely not alone. In fact, according to Johns Hopkins, 1 in 5 children have a diagnosis where they struggle mentally, emotionally, or behaviorally. And that's really a staggering number, and it doesn't even account for the families that are struggling without a formal diagnosis. But here's the thing. What if I told you that these challenging behaviors often stem from imbalance in your child's nervous system? What if there was a way to address these issues without relying on medications? Well, today we're going to explore a groundbreaking approach that could transform your family's life. So this video is really for you parents out there that are exhausted from dealing with their child's frequent tantrums, meltdowns, emotional outbursts, and you're really looking for drug-free solutions to help your child. So we'll talk about the neuroscience behind behavior issues and how neurologically focused chiropractic care can really help restore balance to your child's nervous system. And you also learn about the root causes of these behaviors and discover a drug-free approach to help your child regulate their emotions and their behavior more effectively. But first, I want to tell you a story about one of our patients named Jake. So Jake, when he first came in, his mom was telling us that around 2.5 years old, he went from a sweet and smiling little boy to starting to act out, experiencing tantrums, crying spells, and he even had explosive, angry reactions. So when he was triggered, this anger would escalate very quickly. It would go 0 to 100 in a snap of a finger very, very quickly. And he would yell and he would stomp, and even he called himself stupid, and sometimes even got physical with himself and would hit himself. But after several years, it was really starting to have an impact on his self-esteem. So with every reaction, angry outburst, and tense moment, the family grew more and more desperate, and they were starting to feel the heaviness at home. So Jake's family had numerous conversations with their pediatrician. They even had weekly sessions with a child therapist. They were meeting with their school teachers, with social workers, 504 meetings. The list goes on and on and on. They were just looking for peace for Jake. And really, they hit kind of rock bottom where they knew they needed to do something after an extremely explosive event at a martial arts competition. This is when they knew they needed a completely different approach to help him. That's when they heard about our office from a friend, so they decided to take a chance and get him started right away. Well, with consistent care and over the course of time, our care really helped to rewire and re-regulate Jake's nervous system. This is when the family really started to see big changes with him. So after about 3 to 4 months of care, they really began to notice that Jake was appearing to be a lot calmer. They noticed him begin to use his words to express how he felt. He was way less anxious, less combative, and less intense. He even began to smile more and started to playfully joke around with his family. So Jake still has his moments of frustration, but he's learned to recognize when he is really heightened and apply the strategies that he learned in therapy to calm down, because his nervous system is now communicating with the rest of his body. He's much happier, he smiles a lot more, he jokes around, and is playful, and he's able to articulate his needs, and he really advocates for himself through his words and not just his reactions anymore. And one of Jake's biggest accomplishments, one of the things we're most proud of, is that last July, Jake competed in an AAU national karate tournament, and he took home 2 gold medals. He was a national champion in 2 events, and we couldn't be more proud of Jake and the progress that he's been able to make with our care. So traditional approaches are really often about behavior modification. They focus on managing the symptoms or altering the behavior through things like rewards and punishments. Behavioral specialists speak about learned behaviors or skill deficits and work hard to alter the external environment to support the child and then teach them new skills. But what about when the environment is full of modifications and all sorts of both parenting and professional help fails to get results? Well, that's where we come into play. As PX docs here at Pinnacle Chiropractic, we really take a different approach. We look deeper to find the root cause of why your child is reacting like this. So things like sensory overload occur when the brain is overwhelmed by excessive sensory stimuli, which leads to a constant state of noise and confusion. And this really disrupts the normal regulation of the nervous system, particularly affecting the balance between the fight or flight and the rest and relaxation responses within the brain and the nervous system. So subluxation, this happens and it's due to misalignments or dysfunctions within the spine that then can interfere with the nervous system's ability to process this sensory information effectively. And this interference can exacerbate the nervous system dysregulation, contributing to heightened sensory sensitivities and overload. And when the nervous system is really dysregulated due to that sensory overload and subluxation, it can lead to significant behavioral issues. And children may exhibit increased anxiety, irritability, difficulty with concentration, emotional meltdowns, as their brain really struggles to cope with that sensory chaos. And the connection between these elements is cyclical. So sensory overload leads to nervous system dysregulation, which then often exacerbates is exacerbated by subluxation. And this compounded effect can manifest as behavioral issues, which creates a cycle that then perpetuates the child's sensory and behavioral challenges. As root cause doctors, we're root cause focused, and our drug-free interventions like neurologically-focused pediatric chiropractic care look to address those subluxations and restore nervous system balance. So by addressing the root causes, this form of care can really help reduce the sensory overload, improve nervous system regulation, and alleviate associated behavioral issues, leading to better overall functioning for your child. So parents, I just want you guys to know that there is hope out there. There are drug-free options. There are drug-free solutions out there. Your child's challenging behaviors aren't simply a reflection of your parenting, nor are they something that your child simply can grow out of. They're often a sign that your child's nervous system needs extra support. So imagine a future where your child can navigate their emotions more easily, where tantrums and meltdowns become less frequent, and where your whole family feels more balanced and connected. Just like Jake's story, this future can be possible with neurologically focused pediatric chiropractic care. So if you're interested in any of our care or want more information, click the link in our bio to learn more and check out our full podcast episode on how to overcome constant meltdowns, tantrums, and emotional outbursts. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, I'm Dr. Matt. We'll see you guys on the next one.